Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Solistic Gaming. Now, you might see a Heroes of the Storm screen. I've been away a little bit from Heroes of the Storm, but I'm coming back to it, guys. I'm going to get some videos posted up, because I noticed they did get a couple of views. And today, I'm going to show off my ETC Master Skin here. We're just going to talk about the new patch that's coming out, just to share my thoughts on it anyway. And you guys post below and let me know what you think. So, we're going to talk, the first thing on here is the healing mode. Now, if you play this game, you know what the healing mode is. It's basically, if you don't, it's a totem that you place on the floor, and it heals everyone around the area 2% of the maximum HP for. I tell you what, let's just let's check out the exact. Here we go. Activates totem that heals allies in an area for 2% of the maximum health every second for 15 seconds. Every second, so 30% of their health. Now the change, let's go back to my ETC. Now the change to it, it says that it will take 2 auto attacks to destroy. It will no longer take 2 auto attacks to destroy, but it will have health scaling. But it can be destroyed by AoE hits. So my question, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, but the question is, I would assume it's going to have a fair amount of health, because otherwise most heroes' telegraphs AoE abilities will just one-shot it otherwise. But then if it has too much HP, you can spend too much time attacking it. I kind of like it, but they're also changing the priority now, guys, so you can't stand on top of the totem and block it, which is kind of cool, because sometimes if you was in an even fight, the enemy team had their healing mode right under their hero, you had one, but they killed yours straight away. It was... There was no real counterplay against it because you couldn't destroy it. You had to move the hero off there. That's it for healing mode, really. Now it says we have a number of talent changes incoming for both ETC and Diablo. Worries me a little bit because, as you can see, ETC is one of my more played heroes. I mean, my Diablo's nearly got us level 10, so I've played him a fair bit anyway. Now it says we have a number of talent changes incoming for both ETC and Diablo. These talent changes were primarily designed to create more build diversity and also sharpen their roles as unique warriors in the Nexus. And it says we provided a quick glance at 2 of the storm powers, so that's the level 20 powers. It says, again, I repeat that it says, we have a number of talent changes incoming for ETC and Diablo. So, I mean, I'll tell you how I quickly build ETC and we'll go from there. I normally grab block, echo pedal to deal area damage, loudspeaker for further knockback, mosh pit or stage dive, just depends on the map normally for me. Uber rock start to increase the speed. Then it's between imposing presence and increased duration of guitar solo. And then at 20, depends what I need, really. It really does depend. If I'm having trouble staying alive, I'll go hardened shield. If I want to get places quicker or get out, it'll be bolt of the storm. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I mean, on that front, I don't particularly think that ETC ETC and Diablo, most people tend to have one talent build, they go with them. But, I mean, let's be fair, guys. I mean, I find it a little bit annoying that you know, their exact words, and I am quoting you, we have a number of talent changes included for both ETC and Diablo, full stop. These talent changes were primarily designed to create more build diversity and to sharpen their roles, but they're doing it to create more builds. Now, that's a little bit annoying because there's characters like Illidan. You know, you've got people like him. Sylvanas has got quite a few, you know, normal builds. She goes Tassadar, Zeratul. You know, there's quite a few heroes that only have 1 or 2 builds at very most, but the second build is usually a small iteration of the previous build. I mean, that's really annoying. It's like the Lost Vikings, okay, so this is going to be my best example. Everyone grabs, you know, you can look on Hotslog and it gives you the same statistics. Everyone grabs, I mean, arguably you could choose between these 2, but Viking Hawk gives you more health regen. Q, you get an ability. W, you get an ability. Longboat's just superior. Battle momentum, fall through Vikings is insane. Everyone gains a shield and a better longbow. I mean, everyone picks that for the Vikings, so I feel that if you're going to say that you're changing this patch just to give them more build diversity, I feel that you should be doing that on characters like Illidan, the Vikings, not. I mean, sometimes I do change ETC's build around and you can get away with it. But, you know, like the Lost Vikings, they're such a one-build character. They're the people, like, I don't mind that they're doing it for the tanks, but I don't like the fact that they're popping it in there saying, you know, we're doing it for more build diversity, when there are heroes in the game that just have one build. Plain and simple, they have one build and no one goes away from it because there's no reason to. That annoyed me a little bit. So anyway, on to the changes. So, let's go on to our Dibbles, because he's next on our list. Now, what it says that they have a number of changes incoming on both these heroes. Now, they've only listed one, so I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But it says, Diablo will have his Storm Shield replaced with a power called Lord of Terror. Now, this is level 20 ability, which gives allies a shield around the area. I never really thought that suited him anyway. It's a bit weird. And this Lord of Terror that's going to replace the Storm Shield will have an activated area of effect lifesteal that can hit multiple enemy heroes near Diablo. And it says we want Diablo in the middle of team fights, and this new talent will allow him to do so effectively. I've seen a lot of people saying Diablo doesn't have a problem with staying alive, but I think this is going to be really good actually, because I normally play with a set bunch of people, and I sort of I've been changing the people I play around with lately, just playing with other people. And at the top echelon of play, you know, I'm talking pro gamers, the teams, when you decide to go in, you all go in, that's fine. At the lower end, sometimes I've gone in with Diablo, I'm like, guys, you ready? Yeah. I go in, the team's a little bit slow to react, I'm in the middle of the enemy team, and they just annihilate me, I'm dead. So I think on the lower end of the scale, I think that's actually going to help Diablo players, because it's going to allow you to get in there, if you charge into their team, because that's your only engage, really, you can charge in, and then boom, you can press this ability and you can get some health so you're not instantly destroyed. A couple of things about it. Can it be interrupted? I know that sounds silly, but his lightning breath can be interrupted, aside from, you know, things like Maw and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say I kind of hope it's not interruptible, but I kind of want it to be. And the reason being is, if you're diving in the team as Diablo, and the idea is to obviously keep him alive with this ability, the enemy, there's so many interrupts that can be done to you straight away, so it's going to be interesting. It doesn't say anything else on that. Now, we're going to go to our ETC again, because this change just, I don't know, this change seems, to me personally, I don't like it. I think you've kind of gone back on your word a little bit here, Blizzard. So, ETC has a new Storm power, which is obviously, again, the level 20, so I don't know if he's just going to get another ability. Guess we'll see. In which, upon death, a ghost of ETC will unleash an uninterruptible mosh pit. Do note, this Storm power can be selected with either of ETC's heroics. So if you've taken Stage Dive, you still get this. And again, we've got to wait and see. But it says, upon death, a ghost of ETC will unleash an uninterruptible mosh pit. Now, the reason I don't like this is because of this little fella here named Uther. Let's change him to this skin. Now, 10, nearly 11, I've played Uther a fair amount as well. For you guys that are brand new to the game, you won't know this, but for the people that's been around a little bit, I mean, the patch wasn't that long ago. Before when Uther died, I'll just show you his passive now. Where's his passives to? Abilities. Yeah, because I know how to play this game. Eternal Devotion. When Uther is killed, Uther's spirit remains temporarily on the battleground. Now he can use a special ability called Flash of Lights, so when he's dead, he can heal his team. But before, excuse me, he could still use all of his abilities, including his Divine Storm. And the reason that they stopped you doing that was basically because if you killed Uther, he could heal your team. Oh, granted, it was less, but he could stun, he could use his ultimate, and there was nothing you could do to stop it. There was absolutely nothing you could do to stop it because he was a ghost and you couldn't hit him. Now, ETC upon death, a ghost of ETC will unleash an uninterruptible mosh pit. That is exactly the same thing. I mean, again, we've got to wait and see, but he's turning into a ghost, he's doing an ultimate that you can't stop. That's exactly what they took off Uther, and that was at least quoted by the development team saying, and on the patch notes, they removed it because they didn't want Uther to have it, because there was no counterplay. You couldn't do anything against it. Now ETC's got a 4-second mosh pit versus a... Let me just double check this before I'm calling these stats out here. 10 mosh pit 4 seconds, and I believe Divine Storm is 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. So they stopped Uther being able to Divine Storm you for 1.5 seconds plus a normal second for his stun, let's say that, 2.5. But ETC can mosh pit you for 4 seconds, uninterruptible. That, I don't know, to me, that doesn't seem right. It seems, I don't want to say the word lazy, but it, like, you've got to practice where you preach a little bit, you know. You can't say, well, we're taking us off Uther because when he's a ghost you can't stop him, and then give it to another hero, you know. I don't know. That seems crazy. Abathur's having some balance changes, and if you guys don't know, let's pop onto this little fella. Played him a little bit. Got all his skins. I'm going to buy his pajama one soon, actually. I've got to do it. So, basically what people are doing, they're picking up these talents. They're going... where to is it? It is... Toxic Nests have global range. You don't need this talent to do it, but it does help. And they're picking up all the increased health and duration, gain of ranged attack and all that, and shenanigans. And what they're doing is they're just mining behind you. It's mainly the keeps. It is mainly the keeps. They're mining behind the keeps so they get vision. Burrowing in, summoning a locust nest, summoning the giant swarm of them, and it takes off, I think, I'm going to say about half the keep's health. So if it's below half, he can actually take it clean out. And as soon as he summons all those, he just heart stuns. And how they're stopping that is the locust range will no longer outrange turrets, it says. So I assume they're in keeps and towers as well. So that obviously stops that happening. So if he backdoors in now, the towers and the keeps will be able to attack those. Which I think is a good idea, because there really wasn't a counterplay aside from having one guy in your base all the time. And obviously that's not viable. The only effective strategy I've personally used against it is I've went to Lost Vikings. And I just left one in the base. Because Abathur was doing so much damage. Now, the Locusts are not going to outrange towers anymore, which is fine. Less health overall for the Locusts. I don't like that, because they don't really have that much health anyway, and now they're going to get less, and they have less range. I don't think that's necessary. I think if you kept the... I mean, I suppose if you backdoor in, what they want is if you summon all the Locusts, the towers just one-shot them, but I think that takes away from Abathur. It dumbs... I don't want to say dumbs in the strategy, but it does take away strategy, because if you do it now, it's basically summon them, and it sounds like the tower's just going to one-shot them. So, yeah. His stab damage, which is his Q ability, which is not going to show me. Oh. So when you symbiote onto someone, you get a set of abilities, and his Q ability deals damage. And it says here, we're hoping to give Abathur stronger stab damage. And it says, we're hoping to give Abathur a little bit more in damage, so we'll be increasing his stab damage, which, you know, it's cool. It gives him a bit more team fight presence, which I'm happy with. That's always been my issue with Abathur personally. He doesn't contribute enough to team fights. You know, you summon his clone, they run away, wasted his ultimate. And when he is in there, he's kind of like half a person. It is going to make the Abathur Illidan strategy, though, a lot cooler, so I'm gonna do that again. That's going to be awesome. Anubarak! Now, I'm not pretending I'm a master on Anubarak. He's level 5. So basically, Anubarak's win rate, we discussed, Pax, I don't really care about win rates, bugger win rates. They can be, you know, they can be altered. If people upload 1,000 games and it's only 1,000 games of them winning, you know, whatever. I'm not big on win rates, I just like to play what I play. AI changes to how the Beatles prioritize their targets. Massive, super duper important. Sorry, I'm just going to check the silver button. Excellent. Basically, you could be attacking an NPC, you could be attacking a player, you might spec... I mean, you can, yeah, I've played about it. I mean, you can get Beetles deal more damage, then you could get Anubarak spawns Beetles periodically, Beetles heal Anubarak. So, as you can see, you can really go, Beetles get stronger by killing enemies. You can go a really strong Beetle build. But what was happening was, you'd be in a fight, and these Beetles would just bugger off. You could be fighting a player, the player could have 1 health, you just need that Beetle, and the Beetle will just walk off up the lane, totally ignore what you're doing. So that's really good, that's really going to help him. And it says reduces some precast delays on a couple of the Nubrak's abilities, and by that, I'm going to assume when you shot the burrow charge, he sort of landed up on his back, then went down on the ground. That's that and the spikes, I guess, because the shields seem pretty quick. Cool. Awesome. I'm glad they're changing the Nubrak. It says, again, we factor in change win rate, which I don't really care about win rates. That's not what I really look at. It says, we don't need any major changes to change the next patch. In future, however, we might continue to adjust the characters each patch. Illidan, people are saying he's overpowered, some people are saying he's underpowered, blah blah blah, same thing. We've seen feedback calling him overpowered. When we looked at the internal data, he's one of the top assassins in terms of win rate. Blah, I don't care about win rates. Just, I couldn't give a crap about win rates, to be honest with you. I don't care. Yeah, Illidan's amazing. If you stun him twice, he dies. Like, I mean, sure, if you got Illidan, he's going in, he's nearly dead, he metamorphoses, gets some health back. As he's about to die, he gets a fucking ancestral heal off. Yes, it's shitty. But if a team actually focus fires Illidan and stuns him, he dies. There's no way about it. I mean, there's a couple of fights where he's really bad. Like, if he dives in ahead of the team and he lands on your ETC and ETC mosh pits him, he dies. I mean, if he jumps in and you've got an Uther, you can stun him, then ultimate stun him, 2.5 seconds, he's dead. There's no way he's getting healed out of that. A Nubrak can web him and then just attack the rest of the team. There's lots of counterplay against Illidan. I think the reason... Let's just click on Illidan's picture. Why not? I've played a fair amount of Illidan. The reason that he's overpowered is pugs, like random quick match groups. People aren't focusing, no one's focusing the Illidan, or one person's focusing, or two people are focusing him, but he's getting healed. There's not enough to take him down, and it looks like he's overpowered because he just cleaves through your entire team. That's, you know, I mean, what can you do? But, like, this annoys me. That fact that they're saying, oh, we know, we're changing ETC and Diablo to give them more build variety. Like, no one plays this guy. Like, everyone grabs evasion shield. Then everyone gets sweep and strikes, deal area damage. Everyone gets first aid. Oh, okay, I say everyone. I'm going to say 95% of people, at least. Metamorphosis with the HUD on times. Giant killer, blood for blood, or stone skin. That seems to be the only variation. And then usually Bolt of Storm or Nexus Blade. So, like, everyone plays him the same. Like, these are the heroes that need changing. Please, Blizzard, I mean... I'm new to YouTube, I don't have many people watching, but come on, if someone happens to come across this, change the other heroes. Like, change the Vikings. I'm not going to talk too much on there, because we'll get them in a minute. Murky! So, I haven't played much of Murky. I don't know where he is. Where is he, guys? There he is. He's level 5, so I haven't played much of him, as you can see, and I haven't unlocked him. I played him on free rotation. Now, personally, I've always said Murky's overpowered. And I think he's more overpowered now, personal opinion. And the reason is simply because of this. So he's had a recent couple of changes. If you guys don't know Murky, he has like the least health in the game. But he has this ability called Spawn Egg. And he places an egg where you can respawn from. If your egg is killed, you are revealed to enemies for 15 seconds. You only got 25% of your hero experience upon dying. So you only get a quarter kill for killing Murky. And when you kill Murky, he spawns at his egg. So if you can position your egg near a team fight and you kill him, 5 seconds he's back in. Why do I think Murky's overpowered? The late game. I don't think he's overpowered in the early game. I think he's annoying. There's two reasons that I think he's overpowered. One is he's so annoying that you can't sometimes just let him be. You have to attack him, you have to chase him, and what happens then is he leads you into an enemy team fight. That sucks, okay, it happens. Not why I think he's overpowered though. Why I think he's overpowered is the late game. So, Murky can get this talent called Octograb, and it summons an octopus that stuns an enemy hero for 3 seconds while you hit them for 1 damage. You can increase the damage on that. And he can summon a bomb plus the Octograb, and with the rest of his team, if you've got someone squishy like Jaina or Vala, you can kill them with Murky. And let's say you don't kill him with Murky. Let's just say you trade off. Boom! Vala's dead, Murky's dead. Late game. Let's say level 22 even. That Vala's dead for 65 seconds. Your egg's up. you've got a 5-second respawn. So you're back in the fight after 5 seconds. So it's still a 5 versus 4 now, because their Valor's still dead for 60 seconds. That's where I think Murky's overpowered, because he has a really good trade. Do I think he needs to be nerfed? No, I don't think he needs to be nerfed. I think he's really good. Anyway, that's my view on Murky. I think he's really, I don't want to say overpowered, but I think he's powerful. People laugh at him or whatever, and he is super strong. Personally, I think the end game, if you can trade against one hero, you're laughing, especially with the respawn timers. It says here, with the last patch preview, we mentioned some quality of life changes for everyone's favourite Murky. These changes have increased his playability and win rate drastically. Monitoring his win rate, blah blah blah, I don't care about that. We continue to examine the strength of the talent and make changes if necessary, but for now we believe Murky to be in a good spot. Yeah, I haven't played massively much with him. Maybe I will buy Murky. I can buy Master Skin, see. I got the Stitches Master Skin and the ETC one. I want to go for the Uther one next. And the Lost Vikings, I want to get this as well. Now, while we're talking about the Lost Vikings, here are the Lost Vikings. As you can see, they're pretty high up, and they're probably my personal highest win rate character. If you guys don't know about the Vikings, they're 3 separate heroes that you control, and you move them around the battlefield, or you can control them as a group. It says the Vikings continue to trend to the top of our win rates. We believe the high win rates can be attributed to the Vikings getting a massive soak of XP, plus the longboat raid. What they've decided is, if the Vikings longboat raid is destroyed, all the Vikings will be stunned for 1.5 seconds. This should allow a coordinated team to pick off the Vikings. Do I agree with that? Yes. Yes, I do. And I love the Vikings, and I always pick the longboat, but I get ballsy. Like, I'll sort of run into, like, if we're winning, I'll just dive into the enemy team with the longboat, and I'll just chase them, I'll try and body block them. Even if they nuke the longboat down, I'm trying to stall, and I know that if they kill it, I just jump out, press Q, my 3 Vikings spin, does loads of damage, E, W, just walk off. And, E for shield, W for my jump up in the air, there's nothing they do, and I just walk away. Yeah, so I think they're really good. I think that's a good change. It says, for play again, we're adding a full heal to all live Vikings in addition to its current functionality. Still don't think it'll see any play. It says, we're not looking to make any big sweeping changes. Aside from that, we'll be addressing the Vikings and the talent pick rates. If as a side note, we'll address the Vikings and the talent pick rates if we need to shift their win rates closer to 50%. Oh, I hate to talk about win rates. I really hate to talk about win rates. Like, if only people that wasn't very good with the Vikings uploaded their games, you'd have a crappy win rate. So let's say that happened. Would you then change the win rate? Oh god, no, the Vikings only have 5% win rate. Let's buff them. No, the thing that needs changing on the Vikings, and I love the Vikings. They come into one of my most played heroes. This, that, and that. Am I saying you should nerf the Vikings? No! Give us, like, what I think these Vikings need is more abilities. So, instead of level 4, only that there's one Q ability to use, let's have another Q ability. Let's get another ability in there. I don't know, a Q, I don't know, whatever. Gives the Vikings a shield, or Q lets them all focus attack one target for 200% extra damage for 1 second. Or, just so, because people are just picking the abilities to use. Like, nearby mercenaries are stronger. Siege and bruiser mercenaries near your heroes deal 50% more damage. Or all Vikings are invulnerable and allows you to pass over enemies for 1.5 seconds. The jump sounds overpowered, but these are just the crap. Like, they're just not that great. It's the same as here. Like, all 3 of your Vikings spinning, that's a massive amount of damage, versus Eric's melee attacks knock enemies away. It has a 6-second cooldown. So trying to micromanage 3, plus if you're trying to use that as an interrupt, if you shoot someone, and then someone casts an ability you need to interrupt, you've got to wait 6 seconds. Like, no. That's what needs changing on the Vikings. The actual core talents. Please, Blizzard, don't nerf these talents. I'm getting a bit sick of seeing things being nerfed so that other things are better, but you don't change them. Leave the talents there. Give us new talent. Change out some of these talents that aren't being picked. If you want to look at the percentages, which I hate, look at the ones that aren't being picked. Look at them and say, right, okay, they're not being picked. Why aren't they being picked? Well, let's, Balog's attacks heals himself. It's okay. Eric's attacks destroy structure ammo. Yeah. Eric's melee attacks knockback. Maybe, but, maybe you could want to change this so there's another Q ability. So there's a reason to sort of go, oh, do I want that Q ability or this Q ability? That's what I think the Vikings need anyway. Not nerfs, don't nerf the abilities, just change them. Again, there's none of that in the patch notes, just if the Viking longbow's destroyed, they get stunned, which is cool. And if you use play again, we're adding a full heal to all the Vikings available, which, so summon and revive all lost Vikings attack location after a Viking channels for 2 seconds. Now, okay, I never used that ability actually. I practiced using it once and I didn't like it. So we're adding a full heal to all Vikings in addition to the current functionality. Now, if that was just a click it and they all got healed and they get summoned, you could be in a team fight, you'd be like, oh no, they're going to focus me, jump in the air, shield, they're just about to kill me again, boom, all our health back. But you have to channel it. So that would mean you'd have to run a Viking out into the combat and channel it. While we're on the subject of the Viking, something that I think needs changing is longbow. And what I mean by longbow is hopped into an unstoppable longbow that fires at nearby enemies, dealing this damage, can fire a mortar, that's fine. The longbow is increased health for each Viking inside. It requires all surviving Vikings to nearby. Now, one sec, doing a video. Hang on. Smiley face, that's just my friend, the line. Saying hi to everyone. So what I think needs changing on the longbow is requires all surviving Vikings to nearby. What I don't like about this is, let's say you've got Eric and Balog, or Balog, however you pronounce it, these two guys. Let's say you've got these two guys and you're in a fight, and your big Viking here, he's literally dead, but he's about to spawn. You just go into team fight, boom! He spawns back at your base. You're at a disadvantage. Why are you at a disadvantage? Because these guys can no longer use the longbow. Why? Because your Viking spawned up. So because one of your heroes just respawned, you're actually at a disadvantage. Where if he was still dead, you could pop into the longbow. What's up, YouTube? There you go. That's what I don't like about it. I think that needs changing. I think it should be, it says requires all surviving Vikings to nearby. I think the longbow should be changed so that it uses all nearby Vikings. And the strength of it. So if 2 of your Vikings are nearby and one's on the other side of the map and you use it, only 2 jumps in. But as you've seen here, it hops into the longbow, it fires, the boat is increased health for each Viking inside. So if you're only going to use it with 2 Vikings, you've got less health, you're getting penalised for it. But you should have the option, because at the moment, if a Viking spawns up and you're the 2 guys who are just going into the team fight, you're at a disadvantage because one of your heroes is alive. Because he's just spawned up, now you can't use the ultimate. Don't like that. That's what they should change, in my opinion, anyway. Our Sylvanas. It says Sylvanas is in a fantastic spot when it comes to a win rate. Currently, she's close to 50% win-loss, and that's apparently what they want to go for. Whatever, if people only uploaded games they won on statistics and all that, you'd have a high win rate. Maybe someone will hate me for saying that, but I just don't like the win rate things, I don't think you should be basing things off win rates. It says, we're looking at the talents, we're happy to report that we're seeing a number of diverse builds. However, we've noticed that Wailing Arrow is the clear winner when it comes to heroic abilities. We're looking at possible changes and community feedback to make possession more viable. We'll be leaving Sylvanas in the current state. Well, really? So here we go, guys. Wailing Arrow shoots an arrow that deals 200 damage and silences enemies for 2.5 seconds. Can be reactivated then. So silences, if you can hit the entire team, it silences them for 2.5 seconds. What you mean by silence is you can't use any of your abilities. You can still move, but you can't do any of your abilities. If you get level 20, enemies at the center of Wailing Arrow's explosion takes 50% more damage and the silence for twice as long. What's that? Times 2? That's 5 seconds. 5 seconds where you can't do anything versus, possession at level 10 Forces one enemy minion to fight for you. It gains 20% attack and health. Attack damage and health. Cooldown increased 20 seconds when used on catapults. So it's like a 4-second cooldown. So every 4 seconds you can control one minion. Level 20 increases the attack damage and health bonus to 30% instead of 20%. So, you know, not really that great. And allows possession of mercenaries with a 20-second cooldown. Obviously, the 5-second silence is going to be way better. How should they change it? I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I'll just on the spot throw it out. If it's a stupid idea, you guys tell me. Possession straight away. You can take over mercs. Why? Like, when you're at level 20 and 2 giants come down the lane, how hard is it to clear them? You can literally jump in there, 2 seconds, boom, 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 dead. Whereas the early game, they're a little bit more important. So I would, like, personally allow mercenaries to be captured by that, and I would give it maybe a 10-second on each merc. I think 20 seconds is way too long. And then the level 20 power, I don't know. Let it steal a boss. Let's go crazy. Let it steal a boss and give it a 2-minute cooldown. I mean, I think the bosses have a 3-minute respawn timer. Why not? If you want to make it more viable, do that. People would then be like, well, actually, we could grab our boss, you know, and if they got a boss, we can run in there, steal that. I think it would allow for some cool tactics anyway. And it says that about does it for this patch review. So that's my thoughts anyway. I actually thought this video would be a lot shorter, but I seem to have gone back into it. So if you guys don't have any comments, if you think anything I said is stupid, guys, or you don't agree with it, that's fine. Just post it below. Just say Solistic, you know, disagree with what you said, man. I think da-da-da-da-da. Let's be cool about it. Let's not get all trolly and trash talk, and we can have civilized discussions, guys. If you think that the Vikings have lots of diverse builds, or you don't like the fact that I don't like win rates, just let me know. But be nice about it, guys. Just say, listen, Solistic, don't like your view on that, or I disagree. We're all entitled to our opinions. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's my opinion, guys. So if you guys have got any comments, post them down below. I quite enjoyed doing this video, and I'm going to get some more videos up on Heroes of the Storm soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, and as I said again, post your comments below. Thank you, and you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.